I'm going to throw the Roosters at you.
Oh, you want to do the Roosters now?
Wow. They are a very fascinating case study here, aren't they? No Joey Manu, no Sam Walker, no Brandon Smith for the first 2/3 of the year, the last two.
They've been one of our top sides for a long, long time. No risk about that. Where are they here? Sydney Roosters. So, gains, they've bought one player, Chad Townsend.
Yeah.
Right, Chad Townsend.
Who they probably bought as backup, didn't they? And now he's been thrust into being their main playmaker.
With the injury to Sam Walker and the loss of Luke Keary. But look at the losses here. Michael Jennings, Luke Keary, Joseph Manu,
right.
Terrell May, Dylan Napa, Joseph Suali'i, Satili Tupanua, Jared Warrior-Hargreaves.
Man.
Wow. I mean, to have a drain on your roster like that, let's go back and have a look at what that's meant in real terms. So, Roosters, they had 2,353 games of NRL experience last year. Sydney Roosters, they've dropped down to just over 2,000. So they've lost over 300 games in NRL experience in their roster compared to the ones that are coming in.
I'm not sure I've ever seen the Roosters lose that many quality players at once.
No. And
with the injuries on top.
Yeah, and the recruitment's been interesting because they got in the market for a few players and missed them, which is unlike them as well. They had David Fafita backflip on them, which is, we just don't see that at the Roosters. The Roosters do invest heavily in their pathways programs. They've got some outstanding young kids coming through, right? Outstanding. And I just think, so far as the Roosters, where they are as a club at the moment, they need to transition that. They need to just take a breath and take a step back and transition it and make sure that a number of these young fellas coming through the system actually get into NRL, get plenty of experience and come on before they then go out trying to buy the marquee player that might be able to solve them. Now, obviously, when Sam Walker gets back, that's going to be helpful to them. I don't know. He should be right by May or June, I suppose.
I think that it's certainly second. Was it second half of the year? Like it was late in the season when he hurt himself.
Yeah. They say 9 months now. They're a bit conservative on those ACLs, and I think it's his second one. So, the Roosters are a very professional organisation. What they've got to do is just take a breath and put some time and energy into those young players that are coming through, and teach them what the NRL is all about, and trust them to develop over the next couple of years. They're all about winning comps, and they don't like going backwards. But sometimes you've got to take a step back to go forward.
Are you alluding to the R word?
What's that?
Rebuild.
Well, there's no doubt they're in a rebuild.
Never seen the Roosters in a rebuild?
I can remember.
Well, when you, not since you were there.
Like 30 years ago, she was a rebuild. And I still think they've got a lot of classy players. It's just a matter of lowering the expectations and raising the appreciation for the kids that they've got. I think they're going to be treated like the Roosters by every other side in the competition. Last night against the Dragons, they were found a little bit wanting in defence. I thought they were a little bit unlucky on a couple of occasions. But I've got a lot of faith in some of the young fellas they got coming through. I think they've just got to trust them a little bit more and let them build into their careers and take the ride with them a little bit. They've had a wonderful, wonderful 20 years, 25 years of peak performances, and they've been one of our marquee teams in the competition, and they're always strength. But right at the moment, I don't see them falling off the face of a cliff. I don't see them falling out of top 8 contention at all. But you can't lose that number of experienced and great players without it having some effect. So what they need to do is just shift their focus a little bit and get into transitioning these young fellas and teaching them what the NRL is all about, and being patient with them and helping them through the next 18 months or so. And I think there's some rewards there for them. I would hate to think that they start losing some of those younger fellas who get frustrated because they keep bringing older blokes in on top of them. They went out in the market for Dane Gagai. there were some strange things that sort of went on there about who they were looking for to recruit and to move, and in recent years who they bought. When the Terrell May thing
that's odd.
was strange. I can't get to the bottom of that, because I thought towards the end of the year he was one of their better forwards.
He was being whispered about as an Origin contender.
Well, he could well play Origin this year.
Yeah.
Terrell, I think he's a great buy for the West Tigers. And his best football's clearly in front of him. I just didn't understand that.
Doesn't fit the Rooster culture.
Well, that's the story. I don't know if that's... I don't know. Yeah, maybe not.
So you reckon they can still make the 8?
I think they'll be bouncing around there, yeah. But... because they've got talent. There's plenty of talent there. But that's a huge drain. I'll be very surprised if Joey Manu doesn't come back at some stage of the
Well,
season.
that's the talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they've certainly got room for it.
Yeah, and with Sam Walker, if they can hold their end up early and Sam Walker gets back, and I think the future looks bright. I think this is just going to be one of those years where they just need to be really patient and very appreciative for everything that they get, and I think they'll win their share of games, and I can't see them falling off the face of the earth. They're too professional for that, but it's not going to be the Rooster team that we've seen in the last number of years.